It's another morning and another day in which I realize how poor my programming skills really are. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Let's go write some little boilerplates first. I started a little bit late. Stories from work today. Oh boy, I started a bit late today because I put in place my new monitor properly. The network is breaking down. Oh, that sounds like fun. Oh, because you're doing everything remotely, of course. So waking up is hard. Well, you can't blame me for that. Life's going just fine. I I finally got my new cable this morning for my monitor because I bought a 144 hertz monitor for my brother, but I didn't have the right cable to connect because apparently when it's not your main monitor, it only runs at 120 hertz, which was a bit weird. But now I can actually use it as my main monitor and run it at 144. It is smaller than my previous one. I think it's like 2 inches smaller. But it's curved, which is nicer than I would have expected it to be. And it's 144 hertz, which is just peachy. So whenever I would play a game that would actually benefit from it, well, I can benefit from it now. Handheld consoles. Oh god, this day was made for me. Oh fuck, is that in code? No, thank god, no. Alright, your flight to the major airline hub reaches cruising altitude without incident. While you consider checking the in-flight menu for one of the drinks that come with a little umbrella, you're interrupted by the kid sitting next to you. Their handheld game console won't turn on. That's just the handheld game, just the most generic name ever. Won't turn on. And they ask you to take a look. You narrow the problem down to a strange infinite loop in the boot code of the device. You should be able to fix it, but first you need to be able to run it in isolation. The boot code is represented as a text file with one instruction per line. Per line of text, each instruction is contained of an operation and an argument, assigned number like +4 or -20. Accumulator, so decrease a single global value called the accumulator. Jumps to next instruction relative to itself. Nope, it does nothing. Is it in this order? Yeah, and this just kind of probably jumps in an infinite loop. So before we actually start running through this, let's start creating this. So what we're gonna have is we're gonna have two arrays. Let's make two vectors. Why not? So we're gonna have two vectors. Just make the globals. One is gonna be vector. I think we'll just make it just make it an int. They both make them enums basically. Instruction. Actually. Now first, I could make it a map. That's a terrible idea. That's not what you were looking for here. I could use an array that's faster, but they aren't. I need to know the size beforehand, and I can't be bothered doing that. And this will be arguments. And so what I can do is actually just do the fstream shtick. Oh god, not this again. Okay, despite it not being fall or spring, I'm gonna take an antihistamine pill. Didn't have one in my medicine cabinet, but I should have one in my backup. Yes, there we go. I think I bought 2 boxes, but I guess I should buy one more. I should just buy some more. I guess I used it all up during the last season. Nitro, it's still autumn. That's true. Just what is it, 12 more days or so until it's winter. All the pollen here heading your way. That's wonderful. Let's see. You don't get a box of 500 for 5. I do. It's extremely cheap, but I just need to go out and buy more. I don't need to get a recipe for it, thank God. Winter has begun December the 1st. Yeah, that's not how that works. I don't know how any of that works. So, what I can do is I'm just going to put it into a string stream. And, I should actually do this a little bit better, because I can actually make this already into a string stream. I think I can do it... God, how could you do that again? There's a way where you can fairly easily just do everything into a string stream, because we know... what am I trying to say here? String stream buffer, yeah, basically this. Buffer, yeah, that's the one that I want. Buffer, and then you do, yeah. Because basically the way what we're doing here is, we're just gonna, we don't care about where they exactly are. So what I'm gonna do is, I know that every first one will be a string, so this will be string X, and everything after will be an int, so it will be int n. What I can do is while that'll be X, and then I can do is do instruction dot pushback X, and then I can do arguments dot pushback. It's an int, so don't worry about that for a second. Will be is, so like, and then is n, and then I just push back n. Now if I can find my antihistamine, well, I don't know. Please send some out. Sure, it'll just take a month or two. Yeah, I'd rather do it right here. The reason why I'm doing it here is because I need to do an else if statement somewhere. Might as well do it here. So what do we have? Act, jump, nop. That's fairly easy. I lost my sense of smell. Yeah, you have the Rona. Else, if it's nop, it is spelled like nop, right? Not with capitals. Yeah, nop. Pushback 1, pushback 2, and else. There's no else. We just assume we're amazing programmers and nothing ever goes wrong. So that parses our input. We just for int I equals 0, I is less than instruction dot size. Let me just make sure we have everything correctly. I plus plus, and then we count instruction I and argue int I. One of the things I really like about the Java IDE that I'm using is that it just always, actually we shouldn't be working in release mode. It always assumes you're referring to your own variables first. It's great because it just means that that I can almost always instantly use tab completion, which is wonderful. Anyway, I need to actually check this because otherwise it's 0, 1, 2. So we can just go here. And nope. Should not be 0. Oh, what? So 0, 1, 4, 3, -3, minus, that all works fine. Accumulator, jump. Accumulator, jump. Accumulator. Jump accumulator. Did I misspell nop or something? What? Start compare. Well, first of all, I I don't need to do this if statement. Because in theory, we know that if it's not accumulator or jump, it'll always be the third. But it's still not grabbing that knob. Why is it not grabbing that knob correctly? Also, why is it doing... Oh, well, I know why. Because fucking compare statements do not do what you think they do. There we go. Now it's working properly. Anyway, Aftish, I hope you don't have the Rona. And if you do, get well soon. It's not a great disease to have. Let's see. First, the knob does nothing. The accumulators increase from 0. It's an infinite loop. The program will run forever. The moment the program tries to run any instruction a second time, you will know it never terminates. Yep, that's true. Actually, that is... Yeah, we don't have any conditionals. Yeah. Immediately before... Okay, so what we need to do is we need to actually do a... int equals 0. I think I do. That sucks there. So what we want to do is we want to actually like keep a track of a set of every single index of scene instructions. Scene. This is just indexing. So whenever we've done one, we just see and we try to find it, see if we've done it before. Let me think. We could probably do this a bit better by actually having not a set, but just doing like a linear lookup, because we know indexing already. So what we could do is we could create another vector of scene things and just see if there's a value at that location. And then increment it if we've been there before, which we don't need to do. So it's maybe a better idea. It's a bit annoying. Let's see, vector int visits. And all we can do is here just do visits dot push back 0. So now we just go to while. So we need to have a few counters. Actually, let's move the accumulator in here because that's a slightly bit better. So what do we need to actually keep track of this program? We need a program counter. So we need a instruction pointer. So this will be just PNT. Oh man, I love. What should we initialize at 0? Is there anything else we need to initialize at 0? I don't think so. Accumulator starts at 0. It jumps relative to itself. The next instruction is an offset. Yeah. 37.8 on Friday. Noticed symptoms a week, weekend, almost felt good. Go to work, decided to go home by 2 because got tired. By night, I actually felt good with no signs of anything. The thing with corona is that you can fairly easily be asymptomatic. So you'll be sick with no symptoms. And the other issue is that 37.8 is not on itself indicative of corona. I would say below 38 is generally possible to happen. So yeah. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing here is do a quick int, like a bool check position, which has an int that is pause in the counter. Wake up in the morning, weekend loss. Yeah, that's probably the Rona. No, exactly. But the thing with the loss of smell is that it's one of those symptoms that is like, I think someone said like if you have a loss of smell, it's about 80% certain you're gonna have corona. It's like if it was a random other year, maybe not, but now, yeah, probably. So we do a check position of our instruction pointer, and so while that's true, and then if it's not true, we just count the accumulator. So what I need to do is within visits, see if return visits position. So this will be the instruction we're about to execute, which is good because we actually need to get the accumulator before we do that. So we need to know it's 0. Because that means it'll be the first time we've ever visited. If it's already 1, that's bad. And then, what happens if it gets to the end? I assume if it gets to the end, it executes. So, let's just quickly do something like instrument ++. Just make sure that it always increments somewhere. And then we can do an if instrument equals the instructions dot size. Then I need to learn my spelling, and then we just break. So what I can do now is actually break the infinite loop. There we go. Yeah, Russia doesn't have all the Rona, and you're all vaccinated, as reported by Western media. I know, didn't Russia start vaccinating already? I remember seeing a news article about that. I know that England started, actually, and I know that we're going to start very, very soon. So now we're going to have 3 instructions here. So we're going to have a switch of instruction instrument, which will be either case 0, case 1, or case 2, which is actually which is currently the same as defaults, which is nothing. So why do you do the weird indenting? Anyway, so if it's case NOP, we just increment the pointer and we go on our merry way. If case 1 is going to be our jump, so jump is going to be instrument plus equals arguments I, and accumulator is going to be accumulator plus equals arguments I. Oh, no, instrument, that's what I need. We're not doing indexing here. There we go. There we go. And then what we need to do is we need to add in visits I think this works. Yes, we need to actually do it before we do anything. So we visited this instruction for sure. So this should tell me 5 or something. Don't remember what the actual answer was. Oh, syntax error. Where? What? Syntax error. What? Oh, do you need a statement here? Is that it? Oh, I thought I didn't need a statement there. There we go. So that's not correct. Because the answer should be, what, 5? Say, first knob accumulates discrete 0 to 1, then jump plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What we can do is fairly easily just count the instrument. Oh, I think I already know why it's wrong, because the pointer should increment here as well. Actually, oh yeah, I actually don't know about it. After a jump command, does it increment normally as well? Here we go. No. Would continue to do the instruction immediately below it. So it basically means you do not increment the instrument pointer. So this should now fix that. Um, 5 is the right answer, actually. Yeah, there we go. But the vaccination, I don't know about the vaccinations, man. It's I am looking forward to it, but I also know that we're just not gonna have enough to do anything meaningful for a while. Hi there, Marvin. Hey, that's the right answer. After careful analysis, you believe that one instruction is corrupted. Suppose somewhere in the program, either a jump is supposed to be a knob, or a knob is supposed to be a jump. No accumulator instructions were harmed in the corruption of this boot code. The program is supposed to terminate by attempt to execute an instruction immediately after the last instruction in the file. By changing exactly one jump or knob, you can... why? If you change almost any of the jump instructions, the program will still eventually find another jump instruction loop forever. However, if you change the second to last instruction, the program terminates. Oh, fuck me. How are you supposed to do that? Like, smartly. Intelligently, I guess. Fuck me. Okay, so you know that... Change seconds from a jump to a knob, the program terminates. The instructions are visited in this order. After the last... Okay, so... So we know it's actually going to try to instruct the one that is exactly after it, which is this condition. So we know the instructions.size. That's the where it wants to go to. What we need to check is if... So first, let's actually revert back to the other inputs. There we go. So if... but how would we know if it's not a jump? Fuck me, how... Okay, so for the jump, for knobs to jumps, it's fairly easy. Because what you can do is you can check, hey, if this knob... Oh, no, actually, there's no weird way to do that. Because you have semi-branching paths. Because you can jump over... Oh, fuck. Okay, let me just... How many... Okay. So there's about 700 instructions. So what I can do is I can run this. Just run it. So what I can do is I can have a function that says int run program, and then have just, you know, what I need is basically this. And I do like I make accumulator like a global or something. Well, no, so I can just return 0 if it's not working. So we just run this. Everything is global, so I just kind of do run program here, and then I want it to like return eck. Let's see. So this should just return the same value now, which is 203. We can actually just kind of stop counting that. Where do I even do that? Oh yeah, here. And then let me actually make it return a pair of two ints. One will be the final instruction, and the other one will be the final accumulator. You know, now that I know that pairs are actually kind of useful to return stuff, this is actually pretty good. Let's see, pair int comma int results equals run program nothing, and then what I can do is I can actually have it count well, yeah, results dot first results dot second. Pair is a tuple. It's fairly simple. It's yeah, it's literally a tuple. So now what it'll tell me is it'll tell me the instruction that it finishes on, and I can compare because I know that it needs to be the same as the size of the entire thing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically tell it to start changing shit. So what I can do now is basically have it do. I hate how tuples are called. Yeah. So there's gonna be a certain number of knobs and jumps in order. So what I can just say is like do the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Just do that until we get one. So what do? Is we do a while. We do a do while loop. Hey, look, it's something they're actually useful for. So what do? Is we do this while, you know, results dot first is not equal instructions dot size. Wait, identify results and just don't translate exactly. Do I really have to make one before? I mean, it's not very difficult, just kind of annoying. It's just like this, basically. There we go. So now we always get this first, and then we do while, and then once we're done, we actually count it out. And so what I do here is basically do an int change equals 0. And then I have an int n here that is like an int n. That is the changing thing. This is probably the worst. It's just, this feels very brute forcey. I'm not sure I like it. And then we do a plus plus change. This means it gets returned first and then increment. Was that it? Hamster on any day. Was it? It's incremented first, then returned. So I think. Oh god, what was the order? I know what the difference is. I just forgot which one is which. Yeah, plus plus I returns a value after it is incremented. So I want to do the normal one. There we go. I don't mind today. Like, I don't think so far it's pretty bad. It just feels brute forcey. Day 12 is usually when it gets really difficult. So we do int knob slash jump count is 0. So what I do if so this is a knob and this is a jump, and what I do is I basically do int instr equals this. And then I do if instr equals 1, or well, actually, if it does not equal 0, then we always increment this one. And then we do if u equals n, then basically, this is really awful. So we do inster equals inster is the same as if it's 1, it's 2, otherwise it's 1. So we flip it around. And I just let her rip. And I just count change so we know what we're on. And this might just take a while. I think we can't have more than about 600 changes, so something went wrong there. Let me think. To this accumulator, it's case 1 and 2. If it's 1, then it becomes 2, otherwise it becomes 1. Do I increment change proper? Yeah, that works. Let me actually just test it works for the original example, of course. Wait, did it just? No, I just stopped it mid-execution. That's why it had a 5 there. Because I think I think it works, but my execution, my final thing isn't right. Yeah, so it's just not exiting properly. Let me see. Return.first is not equal instruction size. Because result.first is the instruction pointer at the end. God, do I really have to go debug this more than I really want to? Let me see if this is actually proper. Non-partition count equals n. So if n is 0, then it will immediately swap the instructions around. And this is working properly, right? I mean, it gave me the result for gave me the correct result for part 1, so that should be fine. And this is result.first, which means that if it's equal, yeah, if it's equal, it should be false. I can also do it over instruction size, so I know that. No, because it's like we're doing zero index crap here. So there's like 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if it's 9, it should exit because it always gets incremented at the end. Here, it also gets incremented, so it'll be like breaking there. 0, 0, 0. That's not correct. Wait, what is instructions.size? Just quickly tell me. Because I think there's something funky going on sometimes there. It is 9. Oh, yeah, so it needs to actually be below. There we go. And it just never exits. So one thing I can do is just do this, so I can actually see, and then we immediately stop it. Yeah, it doesn't do this properly. What the hell? Okay, something gets not really done well. What the hell? Huh? Is it like not returning? No, well, no way. Is it really just that it's not returning properly? That would be really stupid. Hey there, Avenue. There we go. Oh, I never actually let it execute anything. Stop. No, it is actually empty. What? But I don't actually change anything about the program. Wait, so let me actually just do one run without a change. Just to make sure it's still working. So what we do is we do one with -1, which would mean those will never actually finish. The real answer was the exactly. So we can get that result fairly easily by just doing dot second. Second is the accumulated value. And then we actually just, immediately exit out so I can see that result. There we go. Yeah, so that works fine. It says 1, 5. Wonderful. It counts chain. Wait. Oh yeah, because I actually do this here. So it's 1, 5. The answer is 5. Wonderful. And then I changed the first instruction. So the first NOP. Oh, yeah, I know one thing that's not right. It's because we, of course, have our visits that never... Yeah, I know one of the issues. There we go. And then I just need to... There we go. That was a bit stupid. Never use globals, kids. It's bad for you. Undeclared identifier. Where? Visits needs to have a certain length, but I know you can initialize vector to have a certain length. Expression must have a constant value. Fuck. Yeah. Let's see. I would basically need to zero it out all the time. Let me actually that's actually kind of not that difficult. So I just, like zero out visits. Void 0 visits. There we go. Not very difficult. The real answer is the friends you made. Did I make any friends along the way? I'm not so sure about that. Right, so I can probably just remove all these counts. This will be the part 1 answer, basically, so I can just do that at the same time. There we go. Part 1 is 5, 0, 1, 2, and then it actually gets me 9, 8, and 8 should be the right answer. 8. So, and now we just have to get our entire thing here. I'm pretty sure it'll run kind of fine. There we go. 1984. Hey, that's social commentary. There we go. And that's correct. Because I'm just that good. So we can actually remove all the counts here. And just remove this. And this will be part 2. And then we run it in a release mode just to see how fast it is. And I can take a look what the other guys have done. There we go. Let's commit this. I need to actually... There we go. So how many other of you guys solved this already? Damn it, hamster. Refactor day 8 code in preparation for encode 2. Don't. Oh, God. Alright, so there we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just take a quick look at the leaderboards. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be on there because this is really not a difficult day. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what I expected, because you're the people who wake up early. Afdish did it, Marvin, C-Fusion, Hamster, and me. I mean, here, look, let's take a look at the completion time. Half an hour for... It really just like it doesn't show you the users. For Marvin. Then it's 48 minutes for Afdish. And there's 100 minutes for C-Fusion. 150 for Hamster, and then it's 5 hours for me. Never seen the podium. This is a plugin that I'm using that adds Advent of Code stuff. It's pretty neat because it allows me to very easily see who is first and second everywhere. So, for example, you got your day 1 first. Sorry, your part 2 was you were the first, but for part 1, C-Fusion was first. Not sure. Are you bad at coding? Nope. They should show the... Yeah, they... I mean, you can kind of see that here. It's a bit... It's not a great plugin, though. It's a bit broken. That's why. Yes. Pretty sure that's the one. I'm not sure if I have it here. No, I don't think so. But I'm pretty sure that's the one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one. Anyway, this was not a very difficult day. Personally speaking, way easier than yesterday. It was the first 4 times. Yep. I mean, especially with these early days, it's purely about who wakes up first. I mean, last year I actually had a whole bunch of first place or second places as well because I woke up early. Because my I woke up early for work. I'm not sure if I'll continue doing it. You don't have to. Like, at a certain point, it's not going to be possible. Like, unless it's a program that you have personal experience with, or the method, basically, it's going to take, like, maybe 2 hours to figure out. I don't know how much time you have before work, but I'd say you can do probably half, at least, before that happens. I mean, it's like the whole point of the thing is that it becomes progressively more difficult to do things like that. Because like later, like, I mean, if I want to, I have up until noon. Yeah, I mean, you would have enough time there. Like even the time it takes for like all the first 100 users or to do part 2, which is like the leaderboard time, it can go up to about 100 hours, 200 hours. I can safely bet you'll have to expand your opcode processing. Yep. So this brute forcing is super fast, but I wonder if there's a faster way. This is a pretty fairly clean. I don't know if there's a better way to do the changing though. I'm pretty sure there is. Explaining the complexity. Yeah, exactly. I remember that as well. I'm sure you can actually like change it in the program already, but then you need to remember to change it back or make a copy, which I could do as well. But this is not very difficult. Basically what I could do is even have like a bool that says like changed value is false. And then here say changed value is true. And then basically do, have this as the first value here, because, and this will speed it up by probably quite a bit. I don't know, what exactly the difference there was, but because Boolean branching is extremely fast. Of course, I preferred not to do any, and then I would modify the program stack every time, which is not actually, that's not that difficult. So what I could do, we have our instruction thingy. So I do instructions. No, because I'd have to like find the knob instruction first. So I'd have to do like a while instruction does not equals that, then change it, then change. It's a hassle. So actually, no, it's the same speed. Because you have to do a search through the entire program stack for the first value every single time, because you don't know where the next one will be. The only thing you know is that you can start from a later position. So I guess, you know, it's faster in that regard. If you keep track of where you were last time, yeah, so you could do it a bit faster. Can I easily implement that? So it would be like int chain last change equals 0. See if I can do that. So what we do is we while instructions last change does not equal. Well, what I can do is I can do yeah, while does not equal. So while it equals 0, last change plus plus. So what I do is I'm basically going to search for the first position that actually has not a 0 or a 1. We found it. Now what I do is I'm going to do this shtick here. So we flip it. Then I run the program, and we actually don't need this change anymore. We have this version in the correct version in our Git at least. And yeah, we just do what we did before, which is instructions instrument. Yeah, the thing is, as long as I just don't keep it as annoying as encode, I'm fine with it. Because the frustrating thing about encode, it just turned into reading comprehension at a certain point. Like it never became about being smart. It was just like, make sure you put the right values in the right place. And that is a skill programmers need to have. Sure, just don't do like half of your days at a certain point. Anyway, we need to run it. And then we need to change it back. So we flip it again. And then what we do is we need to increment last change. So let's see if this actually gives the same results. You'd be amazed at how short supply reading comprehension is. Hey, there we go. Short supply reading. Yeah, the thing is, it's. I agree, it's a useful skill, Strudel, because like, okay, I'm sure others also know, but in stuff like organic chemistry, reading comprehension is pretty fucking important, because you don't want to add 100 mils of something when you needed to add 10 mils, because your ratio is going to be fucked up. But, you know, after a certain point, like, you've got your master's degree, you're not expected to be like babied about that all the time. And that's kind of what it felt with Intcode. Like, okay, here's another reading comprehension problem. Hope you like it. Anyway, we got our right answer. I should have timed it, actually, but I can still fairly easily do that by just adding timing code. So we just go to so we don't take care of reading, because fuck doing that. And then we do need to do a start, which is, and we need to count it. And just do time. US. It's US time, clearly. Please, there are master's graduates that can't follow a 4-step instruction. Fair enough. I think I've mentioned this before, but when I was doing my bachelor's thesis, I was working with a master's student that for some fucking reason kept putting needles in the general chemical waste bin, and it frustrated me so much how you can be so incompetent that one of like the most basic rules, proper waste management, he just couldn't follow. And you really shouldn't put needles in general waste, because there have been instances where a cleaner, they would take out the bags, a needle would poke through, they would get poked, and they would not know what was in there. There could be like extremely carcinogenic crap in there. And so they would have to go to the local hospital and then get an entire blood test, be out of work for like a few days, and it would like cost the university thousands of euros. But the Sharps waste bin is too hard, so we keep it permanently open in the back of the fume hood. Because when we use stuff like, what's this called? Brome, like, what's the English word for that? It's the extremely carcinogenic liquid, but that it's also vluchtig, like it easily evaporates. Volatile? No, that's not it. Anyway, no, not DMSO. Although the principle still applies there as well. It's like what's the damn English word for that? I feel really stupid right now. It's the B. Sorry, BR bromine. That's the one. Elusive? Really? That's the one? Okay, so it's bromine. It's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, bromine. Sorry, not boron. No, not boron. It was bromine. Yeah, so I used bromine for a few of my syntheses, I guess. And I used needles for that because I was, slowly adding small amounts. And the needles I used there, they were just like put, first of all, in the back of my fume hood for a few days to make sure everything evaporated. And then I put it in the needle bin. But if you just put it in general waste, all that nice bromine is going to go up into the air and you're going to be breathing that. And that's really bad. At least iodine, just exactly. And DMSO is the same. Like, it's a, what do you call it again? A solvent. We use it as a solvent quite a lot. And whenever we would use like a jar of that, we just put it in the back of the fume hood for a few days to make sure it all evaporates. But this guy was just really stupid. I love Soylent DMSO. Yeah. So we sped it up. I actually want to see what the older version was now. We can fairly easily grab that by grabbing our repo. My favorite is when you put a sodium methoxide needle in the bin and sets the paper on fire. Oh, that's great. I mean, undergrads are really, really stupid. I remember quite a lot of that. Quite a lot of people being really stupid during my like first few like when I did whatchamacallit, the first few classes of organic chemistry, a lot of the same crap happened. People setting shit on fire or like spilling oil. Like, oil fucking sucks to clean up. Like, it really, really sucks. But these people would sometimes just kind of throw it in there. And, so what I can do is I can fairly easily... So if we check it here, we run it in release, we get about 800 microseconds. So I just throw you in here, and then... you in here as well. See how much slower it is. Can't wait for it to be faster. Yeah, 900. So you save about 100 microseconds. It's not... It's a result that I would be... A speed up I would be happy of, because you're doing... Wait, what? A doesn't really speed it up, I think. Yeah, so it's basically the same. I'm gonna guess the size is so small, and the operations you're doing are so efficient. It doesn't matter here. I guess for the big boy input, it probably would matter. Anyway, I'm still happy with it because it's the complexity gets reduced. The only dumb thing I did was actually break an optical fiber of spectrometer when I was at a test with connecting it to with Tomahawk alone. It's a fucking mess of a setup. You really, like, doing those kinds of setup, especially with expensive pro stuff, don't let someone who doesn't have experience with it do it. Because if you would ask me to do it, I wouldn't know either, because I've never done it before. But we also had a pretty decent setup at the university where you had to reserve a machine, and if it's the first time you ever did that, it would tell you you're not allowed to do this on your own. You have to have the supervisor of the machine with you. Let's see. I set the evaporating benzene on fire because the tutor said it was no fun if no one had a fire, so I put the buns and flame into the ethanol. She glared at me for the... Yeah, of course, you fucking idiots. It would be, there's no fun if there's no fire, and then just some fucking idiot says like, well, I can help, but then he just sticks the Bunsen burner into the ethanol. Jesus. God. I kind of knew what to do, but my hands are connected to my ass, not shoulders. I mean, still, if you know you're clumsy. Let's see. That's 20 meters of cable. Jesus Christ. I mean, like, for me, that would be, yeah, she had it coming with a smart-ass comment like that. If they would ask me to hook up, like, a confocal microscope, I would be like, yeah, fuck no, I'm not doing that. Or some of the other microscope, laser microscopy setups we have, which, you know, we have... Wait, why would you put it through brick walls, though? We have all our setups in the same room. I mean, it becomes a mess, but at least it becomes a contained mess. A number 8 on a pedestal. This is kind of neat. Int X888, yeah. This is kind of what I would have done, but I'd rather not hardcore it. Because Tomahawk is a thermonuclear reactor. Ah! Fair enough. I did not know it was that. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, that makes more sense. Could you just please go fuck... Just go die. You connect to a spectrometer sending max. Yeah, I understand there, of course. Not knowing what a tokamak is. Okay, let me tell you this. You know how much the Netherlands... the Dutch opinion of thermonuclear reactors is like below 0 because we have fucking idiots here that don't care. So we have like 2 nuclear reactors left and they're being wound down. And we have one more that does and one more that makes medical isotopes. Yeah, I hate this. Yeah, just call it abomination, please. Anything else here? Nothing really interesting. Oh yeah, and Hamster has his solution here. What else here? Create a possible changed inputs. Oh, I guess that's fine as well. So you just change. That's what Marvin did. You just change the. You change all the. Change all of them. Oh, hey, look! CFusion realized that in Python, copy isn't copy. It's a reference. What else do we have here? Thermonuclear is much safer than nuclear. Like, nuclear is the basic version. Exactly the same in Germany, everything nuclear is bad. Yeah, I hate it. I really hate it. because we pretend to be nuclear free, but our Earth science lab have radioactive reactors to generate neutrons. I mean, to be fair, those type of reactors are usually a lot safer, between quotation marks, than normal ones, but they are already fucking safe. We tend to be funny thing is thermally has nuclear in the name, so everyone's spooked. Yeah, I mean, I would just prefer to go for a thorium salt reactor. Just build one of those, build a big boy, and our energy needs are going to be solved for a while we wound down all our goddamn all our like gas and coal plants. In that sense, thermonuclear is safer, but Gen 3 plus nuclear is most exactly. Like, modern nuclear plants are extremely safe. Just put up more windmills. We don't have the goddamn space, man. But yeah, so to get back to what CFusion said is that in Python, when you make copies of things, it makes references. You need to do a deep copy to actually have a proper copy. And it's one of those things where Python falls short because it never really explains what like references are, for example. Turn the dikes into hydroelectric dams. They really aren't that big, you know. Also, the issue here with windmills is that people hate the sight of them. So we have to all build them out on sea. And we do, and then they all get used up by like huge data centers. Because like municipalities here, they like tell Microsoft or Amazon, oh yeah, you can build your data center here and we'll give you green energy to use. And then they get all the green energy and the people are stuck with dirty energy. Where if those data centers wouldn't be here, we would have green energy as well. Because that's our taxpayer subsidies going to those plants. Even that if thermonuclear malfunctions, it won't be anything dangerous except reactor dead. Exactly, it's the same thing. There's the idea of putting a thermonuclear inside a nuclear reactor because it will help taking fission reactions further, making less radioactive isotopes, but it sounds too spoopy. What I want to agree to try. It's because there's just a fear factor with nuclear. I mean, it's really annoying. We have we have our Green Party, which is like, oh, we need to do more green energy, and then people suggest maybe do nuclear, and they go like, no, but radioactivity, you know, waste, we can't do that, fix it. Oh, just go fuck yourself. I'll never vote for them because of that reason. I agree with their general party program, a decent amount, not everything, but that's just a deal breaker for me. Like, you want to solve the energy crisis? Build nuclear. Greenpeace itself is stupid. Like, kickstart a Green Party that goes for nuclear. We'll call it nuclear, or nuclear in Russian, just to make sure everyone's extra spooked. Yes, we got subsidies from Moscow to build nuclear reactor. Only thing we have to do is staff it with Russian engineers. What's the worst that can happen? Oh yeah, what's the name? Oh, yeah, Chernobyl too. Green Party hates green shiny rock. It's very ironic. The thing with nuclear waste is that it is an issue. The issue is that people don't want to deal with it because we have permanent storage in the Netherlands. It's empty because all our nuclear waste is in a temporary depot because no one wants to transport it. No municipality wants to say you can let it travel through our borders. So it's stuck in bureaucracy hell because we don't want to fix it. And like where Finland, when Finland builds their permanent storage, that's great. I would like for us to be able to do something like that, but we can't because we don't have the bedrock for that. And Finland, understandably, doesn't want to become the waste bin of nuclear waste for the world. But if we could do something like that, would be great. But at the moment, our biggest issue is just people being fucking idiots and not being able to understand what it takes to run a country and being super selfish about, oh, I don't want nuclear waste to be run through my area because people won't like it, the voters won't like it. How we dig waste that Axel Dietlof's pass. I mean, yeah, Derna, but the doesn't sound scary at all. Hey, great idea. Let's start the Russian party. Can't wait to be accused of communism. Anyway, this is Hamster's version, which is a naive solution, which is, you know, kind of all you can do here. And yeah, this is how you switch the instructions. Range length input, you copy it. Yeah, you make a copy, and then you... J is nop, jump. Change the instruction itself. But how do you... Oh yeah, J is the instruction, and if it's that way, yeah, that's fine. Too lazy to make some functional control sequence. It's lazy, but it works. You just instead of like going on until the next nop or jump, you basically just go through every single instruction. And because the program is so small, it's only a few hundred instructions. It's not slower. Like, it's not slow in the general sense. If it works, it works. I wanted to see Marvin's solution and see Fusion's. Oh yeah, see Fusion doesn't have a git. Damn it. See day 8. So what Marvin, I guess we are brute forcing this. Oh, that's great. So what Marvin does, he basically first creates every single permutation, which perfectly fine. Because basically what I'm doing as well, he just does it beforehand, or I do it in place. Deconstruct is, yeah, just strips it out. Part 1, run instructions true, and just run. Guess we are brute forcing this. That's great. So part 1 is just run, right? Yeah. It's fairly simple. Oh look, this elif is not needed, Marvin. Something somewhere went somehow terribly wrong. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that, but nah, not needed. Yeah, so just create every single. It's same thing, different flavor, different jacket. All the variable names must be informative. Still 0 in the accumulate. Don't worry about it. None of this is, Let's see, load your input, transform the opcode into equivalent Vim commands. The program's gonna run in source window. That's kind of neat, I guess. Same for me, to be honest. Informative, the variable names are useful, but you know, when you're coding for yourself, it's important enough that you know it. But I do agree, because my Java project doesn't always adhere to that. What's wrong? Yes, of course I'm done already. It's a super easy day. Look, yesterday was a fluke, I swear. So this one... So this one actually finds where it halts. Took you 2 days here. What? No, it didn't. Look, your days are wrong. Let's see. Okay, so what he finds is, yeah. So what he does is basically, he keeps track of every single instruction that causes it to go to another visited location. So what I would do is, basically here, you know, check position where I see if it's going to return. It basically saves that. So it runs through every single instruction and then see which one would do it, then changes it, and then go to the next one. I'm not sure, because there's only one change. I'm not sure it's, you know, all that useful. The only one in the team who uses dark mode kind of shows him. What the hell? Why would you not use dark mode for pro? I already hate that I'm not using Git in dark mode, and I don't know how to switch it either. Or was it like, I think it was like your Git profile or something. Because it's like, I don't know where I could change that. That's just my goddamn bio. Settings, there we go. Is it somewhere here? I don't even know where to change this. I already hate that, I don't even know where is... Isn't there a Git dark mode? No, it's literally just... Yeah, there is no, it's just themes. So it's just nothing. Great. I hate that my Notepad++ has to basically be in light mode, because if I use dark mode, some crap doesn't show up properly. Although I guess I could actually change it here. Since the issue before was actually that the paradox crap wouldn't properly highlight. What the hell? That's better. There we go. It also doesn't change this, which kind of annoys me, but I will. Anyway, we have it working. I don't see any interesting code, just one-liners, and who cares about those? Python, bad at a bad, exactly. F would have seen the generators. I keep forgetting what yield does. I think it allows you to, yeah, 4p in mutations prog, so it allows you to build a stack, basically, sort of. Now, of course, the most important. No, there's no scratch solution yet. What a shame. Yeah, I was wondering why there's a gap here now, but you know. So one thing I'm curious about, if this, where this is, so it clearly is some kind of map, but if this is Greenland, this would be the New England Islands, which, or some of the Canadian ones? North Pole, yeah. Groenland, there we go. Yeah, but like there's no islands nearby. Well, I guess it could be like here. And you could have these things, but they're like tiny islands. Maybe some people know where it is. I guess the Mercator projection really isn't helping here, because this would be much smaller, but these are not islands, and there's no, yeah, the New England Islands I was thinking about, like Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, which is Canadian, but don't think about that. They wouldn't, no, that doesn't work. Unless you just kind of reduce the entirety of the USA to nothing. I like how it's like glitching out. I think it's because I'm using the GPU for streaming as well, and it's trying to do GPU accelerated rendering. Oh no, look, of course, clearly it's Antarctica, and this is New Zealand. See anything else here? Slowest recursive search on the web. Jesus Christ, 17 minutes. That's what my initial solution probably would have taken. What? Good old Penguinland, you know. Nothing too interesting besides, of course, It's all bags. No. This just. Oh, I really don't want to have to do fucking encode again. But we'll just have to see. Anyway, that's gonna be it for now. I am going to actually have to do some real work today, unfortunately. We're back tonight with Shadow's Patreon game, which I still have to prepare, actually. Got them. What was it again? Did he send it to me? What was it again? World Tour, that's the one. Fucking World Tour. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a poor man's Tony Hawk. That's what it's gonna be. Boo, real work bad. Hey, look, I gotta earn. I don't earn money. What do I earn? I gotta earn my degree somehow. That's the one. Got something to watch at work. Yeah, it'll be at 9 in the evening, my time. So they'll be in about 9.5 hours. I hope D8 will have more people solving it than day 7. I mean, you can see the amount of people that only solved day 1, like, quite high. But the same here, and day 4 wasn't particularly difficult. Like, part 2 really wasn't that complicated. I guess it might have turned off a lot of people. Like, oh, I don't want to have to do all these fucking checks, so I'm just not going to. Yeah, exactly. Day 4, part 2 was just annoying. Just a butt ton of writing checks. It also took me like half an hour or so to do, because I was, CPP doesn't allow for easy doing that. Anyway, I'm happy I solved this day fairly easily. So we're gonna quit you. Oh, hey, look, our little Baz is still up there. I probably should actually just kind of remove that. There we go. Because we're not Bazzing anymore. Anyway, cheers. See you guys tonight.